Now, to present the Ricks Award for Community Citizenship, please welcome Peter Dillon, President and CEO of Richberry Group of Companies. Peter?
Thank you, Chris. And let's all just thank Chris for doing such a fantastic job. And congratulations to Walter and Karen for your exceptional contributions to not just British Columbia, but to Canada. So congratulations from me to the both of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to present the Ricks Award for Community Citizenship to a rock star, to a legend of the CPG business, to my dear friend, Anthony. Anthony von Mandl is the business leader whose entrepreneurial story is one of the most remarkable stories in Canadian businesses. And he goes beyond that. His story and his legacy is now being written globally. And so lucky, Anthony, that you are a British Columbian that's doing all this remarkable work here. And at the age of 22, without outside financing, Anthony von Mandl found what would become a multi-billion-dollar beverage company right here in British Columbia. And then rather than following the industry, he's reshaped it and continues to reshape it, creating entirely new drinking categories and building iconic brands that transformed the global beverage landscape. For example, just over a year ago, Anthony has worked with one of the greatest sports athletes in the world. I'm sure many of you know him, Messi. Anthony worked with Messi and they created a new brand on rehydration beverage. And companies, and you know them all, the big beverage companies like Coke and Pepsi, Anthony is 3 steps ahead of them. They have global teams that work together to try to do what this one man does. And I know this because I'm in the global beverage business as well. And I can tell you, I have sat with beverage companies, Coke, Pepsi, Nestle's, and I remember them saying, "Who is Anthony von Mandl?" And I get to smile, and I get to say, probably one of the things I'm most proudest of, he's my friend. So well done, Anthony. And beyond business, his impact extends into philanthropy through the Von Mandl Family Foundation, supporting numerous causes, including, but not only, cancer research, youth education, poverty reduction, and the arts. And he is also known for the reshaping, developing the Okanagan Valley, and on the world stage, he is creating luxury wines. His wineries have earned international recognitions and awards, including the first ever Canadian wine to get 100 points recognition. So wow, that is, like, I hope we all appreciate, like, that is not something that happens very often for wineries, but to have it happen here in Canada with your winery. And by the way, Anthony, the wine is fantastic tonight. So congratulations. So now let's take a moment and look at the video and learn a little bit more about Anthony.
when you start with nothing, and I didn't have a dime. So when I started in my 10 by 10 square foot office in the back of the Queen Elizabeth Playhouse, not even the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, but the Playhouse, and walked up those two stories to my little office I was so proud of, and paid $29.09 a month rent, I really associated instantly with others that were trying to do things on their own, and it could be anything. So I always helped others. And it's really the story, I think, if you look at human development civilization, it's been about that. It's been from a tribe to communities.
It takes a village to make things come to fruition. And it is people like Anthony that is a part of making such a big difference in this world.
Anthony certainly is an inspiration, and how he deeply, deeply cares about this country comes across in the first 5 minutes when you talk to him.
It's a fundamental question of what the objective is. And I think great things take time. If you want to make fundamental changes for the long term, societal changes, that takes time. And the way to do that, I think, is really, it can't be about, it's certainly not about us or about me or about our family foundation. It's about what's going to make a difference to British Columbians and Canadians. In fact, every community we work in internationally, it's what can we give back?
He really believes in being a change maker. He really sees the power of his contribution to try and make the world a better place.
I always helped others, and I never expect anything back.
We'll never know the breadth and depth of Anthony's kindness and generosity, because he does it in a very quiet way, and he almost always does it anonymously.
He likes to keep it, under wraps. He doesn't like, people to know what he does. Like I said, this is that humbleness that he has achieved, where he gives to his community, to his country. I've seen it through education, through university support, through community food support that he does.
Everything starts with health. If we as individuals and we as a society don't have health and aren't healthy, nothing can happen, because people can't be their best and the outcomes are tragic.
Without Anthony's help, we wouldn't be in the position we're in today.
He gives to the healthcare sector, to the education sector, to the arts.
It's those kinds of things that also teach you skills in life. And so to me, those are incredibly important, and those are things we support.
He makes it better by validating people who need to be validated. Now, it's a cliche when I say that, but the fact is there are many organizations and people who need help, and he's in a position where he can give that help, not only financial help, but moral help and all of that, and he does that.
That's the type of guy Anthony is. He tries to make people better.
Anthony does give other people a voice and really gets behind their initiative and their causes and the things that are really important to the communities that he's involved in and the people he's involved in.
But it also just demonstrates what it means to be a good Canadian, a good citizen.
He thinks about what do people need. So they need connectivity, they need a network, they need to meet somebody. If a parent needs connecting to a doctor for their child that's suffering, he's not asked to help, but he goes over and he offers to help.
So there's that reciprocal relationship around philanthropy and around entrepreneurship that I think just demonstrates what a true change maker is all about.
I think it's an extraordinarily important thing if we're fortunate to have been able to create something to make a difference to others.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating one of the greatest Canadians and one of the greatest people I know, Anthony von Mandl, on receiving the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade's 2026 Ricks Award for Community Citizenship. Anthony.
Good evening. It is an absolute privilege to stand here tonight. I'm truly humbled to share this space with so many that have come before me, so many local icons that have set a high bar for what it means to give back and build a stronger community here in British Columbia. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Bridget Anderson and the Board of Directors for this incredible honor. It is a distinction I do not take lightly. To share this evening with Karen Flavel and Walter Pella is a highlight for me, and this is a moment I will cherish always. Your leadership and dedication to our community are inspiring, Karen and Walter, and I thank you for your commitment to excellence. We're all here tonight because we share a passion for making a difference. I would like to pay tribute to a few remarkable individuals who embody that spirit, starting with Peter Dillon. For your extraordinary leadership, your philanthropic efforts in health and education, and for establishing a legacy of ethics and community care. Wally Opal, for your lifelong commitment to social justice, community safety, and your tireless work as a voice for the underserved in British Columbia. Gloria and Dominic Cuccione, your journey is one of immense courage. You transformed the unimaginable heartbreak from the loss of your beloved son, Michael, into a beacon of hope for so many, raising millions for childhood cancer research to ensuring Michael's dream of a cure lives on. Thank you. Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, I should say Lieutenant Governor, thank you for your continued stewardship and your dedication to celebrating the people of our incredible province. The University of the Fraser Valley, thank you for fostering education and community partnership in our region. Elio Luongo, thank you for your leadership in business and the community. And Stu McNish, what an unbelievable eye you have to make us all look good. Finally, I want to recognize the legacy of Don Ricks, a remarkable Canadian and a distinguished philanthropist who selflessly made a difference in our community. His impact continues to be felt by so many. When I look around this room, I see the power of community, philanthropy, and resilience. I am honored and incredibly humbled to be part of such a monumental group of individuals. Thank you all for your inspiration, your commitment, and your service to British Columbia. Our community has never been stronger. Thank you.